Hello friends, welcome to Sendil Shares. I'm your Sendil. So we saw in the introduction video that in this channel we'll be discussing more about thinking tools, and these thinking tools are formally called mental models. But I'd like to explain this in a different manner now, because these mental models will make you powerful. But let me give you an example. Let me give a scenario how this makes you powerful. In our childhood days, we might have watched programs like Ramayana and Mahabharata, right? Where if two warriors are fighting, they fight using bows and arrows. And the stronger a person is, the more powerful arrows he or she has, right? Somebody has fire arrows, water arrows, snake arrows. It's kind of multiple powers. So a person's power is determined by the variety of arrows that he has. So the more the arrows, more the variety, stronger he or she is. Similarly, mental models are like thinking tools or like thinking arrows. The more the number of mental models that you have in your bag, the more powerful you are when it comes to making decisions, because your reasoning is upgraded. So one such mental model that you're going to be learning today is called Pareto Principle or 80-20 principle. It says that 80% of our consequences comes out of 20% of the causes. That is, 80% of the results is due to 20% of the actions. So this is not like a mathematical formula that I can prove directly, but you can always test it for yourself. You can look at your school, right? School memories, right? 80% of things that are useful to us in our life are basically comes out from 20% of what we have learned at the school. I hope you would agree with me on that point. Or if you want to look at like a political example, if a leader has created multiple schemes or a party has created multiple schemes, 80% of the impact would have come from 20% of the schemes that have been created. Yeah, you can see that 80-20 here, even here as well. Or if you look at cricket, 80% of the scores might have come from 20% of the batsmen. Not just in one match. You can look at the entire IPL tournament. You'll see this 80-20. Or if you look at the entire cricketing history, you'll see that 80% of the runs are scored by nearly 20% of less number of batsmen. And there is 80-20. Or if you look at a business example, let me take Parley, okay? The company behind Parle-G and all those brands. You can see that they have multiple brands of biscuits, right? Like they have multiple products in their product line. Parle Crackjack, Parle-G, Parle Hide and Seek, Parle Milk Shakti, Parle Happy, multiple of that. But if you look at that, their 80% of revenue would come from nearly 20% of their products. So that's it. So 80-20. You can look. It's a thumb rule, so you can look for it everywhere around you. So how did someone discover this? It's discovered by someone called Vilfredo Pareto. He's an economist from Italy. So he had like a garden, and he found that nearly 80% of the peas, and it's a garden of peas. So peas came from nearly 20% of the plants. He's an economist, right? He found that pattern. He also found that nearly 80% of the land in Italy was owned by nearly 20% of the people. You can find the relation even in a country like India, or I hope it's across the world as well. So that's where 80-20 is applicable. Like you can see that pattern everywhere. But yeah, knowing this Pareto principle or 80-20 principle is going to be of some use, but unless and until you start applying it, until you start thinking from the lens of 80-20, you wouldn't see much bigger impact. So, because nobody's going to ask like a 2-mark question, like define Pareto principle or define 80-20. So you have to start applying it. So how do I apply it? Let me help you there as well. So you can apply it in a time management as well. Let me refer you a book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Eat That Frog. He basically says, if you have a day, start your day by eating a frog. So basically it's a metaphor. Basically he says that eating a frog is the toughest thing or the most disgusting thing that can happen on a given day, right? Nothing worse can happen than that. So if you have multiple tasks lined up in your to-do list, choose the task that's like a frog. Like maybe if you apply the 80-20 here, if you have multiple tasks lined up, choose the 20% of task that can create 80% of the desired impact or the results. However tough it is, however difficult it is, get that task done as the first thing. And that's what the book says, Eat the Frog, and that you can always relate that with 80-20 as well. Or if you're someone who feels that, or if you know someone who feels that I have so much problem, ask them to list down the problem and just figure out what are the 20% of the problem that can result in 80% of peace in their life. Just get that 20% of problems resolved. You will be in a very good state of mind post that, right? You'll be able to solve the rest of the 80% of the problem just like that. It need not be always time management or just stress management, something on the serious line. It can be as simple as, say, you're getting married, or someone in your family is getting married and they ask you to prepare the menu for the dinner, for the reception, or something on that line. You might see that nowadays the menu has like 20 items, 30 items, or 40 items, and so on. Even though there are so many items on that banana leaf or the tray or the eating plate, it is the 20% of items on the tray that truly matters. If you get that right, your guest will be really happy. If you're a chef, you have to make sure that those 20% of the items are really done. If it's a South Indian wedding, you have to make sure that sambar and dosa and idli are all hot and tasty. If it's a North Indian wedding, you have to make sure that the roti is soft, the gravy is tasting good, and all so on. So that's an example I'm giving you. So you can apply it there as well. Like it need not be very serious. It can be as simple as preparing a menu as well. If you look at a business context, you can figure out that nearly 80% of the production in the company might be because of 20% of your employees. So as the leader, you have to find them and look for ways to make them better. How can I train them better? How can I make them better? How can I keep them comfortable? Or unfortunately, for some reasons, 80% of the problems in your company might be because of 20% of your employees. Maybe as a leader there, you have to take some tough decisions. So having said all these things, this is what, like, you can apply 80-20 across multiple spectrums. There is a wide variety of application of 80-20. So use the tool wherever you can, because it's a tool. If you don't use it, it gets rusted. So use it for your advantage. And I really hope that this video was really helpful. This concept of this mental model of 80-20 was really helpful to you. If you feel that your friends, your family members, or colleagues will also find this interesting and useful, please do share this video with them, and they will find it helpful as well. So until I meet you very soon with a quick video, with a quick and interesting video, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.